Hello everyone. This was a quiet week for space exploration. JPL continues the testing of both the Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter. Perseverance is still transmitting great images of Mars back to JPL. Hopefully we will soon see Ingenuity make its initial flight on Mars. In the meantime, I thought this would be a good time to review the 4 Mars rovers that preceded Perseverance to Mars on this video. Welcome to Reaching for the Moon, hosted by me, Ed Grace. For those of you that don't know me, I worked on the Apollo program for 10 years and was a member of the Apollo 13 Mission Operations Team, awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Before we visit the Mars rovers, Bill Nelson, former astronaut and Florida senator, has been nominated by the administration to be the new NASA administrator. Nelson flew as a payload specialist on Shuttle Columbia back in 1986. This should be really good news for NASA and for Florida. Okay, let's get back to the Mars rovers. The first rover to land on Mars was the Sojourner, which was part of the Mars Pathfinder mission managed by JPL. Sojourner was a robotic Mars rover that landed on Mars July 4th, 1997 in the Ares-Vallis region. Sojourner was designed as a technology demonstration of a new way to deliver a lander and the first ever robotic rover to the surface of the red planet. Sojourner not only accomplished this goal, but also returned an unprecedented amount of data and outlived its primary design life. Designed for a mission lasting 7 sols, it was ultimately active for 83 sols, which is equivalent to about 85. Sojourner was the first wheeled vehicle to travel on the Mars surface. The rover communicated with Earth through the Pathfinder base station, which had its last successful communication session with JPL on September 27, 1997. The rover had 3 cameras, 2 monochrome cameras in front and a color camera in the rear. The rover was imaged on Mars by the base station's IMP camera, which also helped determine where the rover should go. Sojourner had a very successful mission. In January of 2004, 2 robotic rovers named Spirit and Opportunity were launched separately and landed on opposite sides of the red planet. With far greater mobility than the Sojourner rover, these 2 robotic explorers have trekked for miles across the Martian surface, conducting field geology and making atmospheric observations. Carrying identical sophisticated sets of science instruments, both rovers have found evidence of ancient Martian environments where intermittently wet and habitable conditions existed. First among the mission's scientific goals was to search for and characterize a wide range of rocks and soils for clues to past water activity on Mars. Spirit landed at Gustav crater, a possible former lake in a giant impact crater. Gustav crater is a 90-mile wide hole in the ground that was formed 3 to 4 billion years ago when an asteroid crashed just south of Mars' equator. There's a channel system that drains into it, which probably carried water and ice into the crater. Spirit's last communications with Earth was on March 22, 2010. Opportunity landed at Meridiana Planum, a place where mineral deposits suggested that Mars had a very wet history. Opportunity's last communications received on Earth was in June of 2018, well past its expected operations time. Since landing on Mars in 2004, Opportunity has made a number of discoveries about the red planet, including dramatic evidence that long ago the Meridiana planum of Mars stayed wet for an extended period and that conditions could have been suitable for sustaining microbial life. The Curiosity rover was launched from Cape Canaveral on 26 November 2011 and landed on Aeolus Palus inside Gale crater on Mars on 6th of August 2012. Curiosity is a car-sized Mars rover designed to explore the Gale crater on Mars as part of NASA's Mars Science Laboratory mission. Curiosity's rover design served as the basis for NASA's Perseverance mission, but carries different scientific instruments. This image is a panorama made up of 122 individual images stitched together, which were taken by NASA's Curiosity rover and named Curiosity's View of Benches on Mars. Curiosity is still operational today, and it's been on Mars for over 3,000 Earth days operating. Lastly, we have the Perseverance rover, which landed on Mars in February of 2021. JPL is continuing to get fantastic images of Mars from Perseverance. Perseverance, which landed inside Mars' Jezero crater, successfully dropped the belly plan, covering its sampling system last week, as shown in this image on the screen. The car-sized rover will now start collecting samples in its belly as it explores the red planet. It's going to look for any signs of ancient life in its landing area of Jezero crater and beyond. The belly of the rover houses a rotating drill carousel which contains different kinds of drill bits that we're going to use to collect the samples. There are 43 sample tubes that can be filled with sampling systems. While the rover's big arm reaches out and drills rock, the rover belly is a home to a small robotic arm that works as a lab assistant to the big arm. The small arm picks up and moves new sample tubes to the drill and transfers the sample containers into a space where they are sealed and stored. The samples will eventually be cached at one or more depots on the Martian surface, which will be well marked for recovery later. A future sample return campaign will land close to the depot, scoop up the samples, and bring them back to Earth. The details of the return mission have not yet been finalized, but planning is underway by both NASA and the European Space Agency for a possible date later in this decade. The samples could make it back to Earth as early as 2031. The next major event was going to be the flight of the Ingenuity helicopter, which we will report on as soon as it happens. Well, with that brings us to the end of the status of Perseverance. And with that, we're going to end today's video. I hope you enjoyed the Mars images and video and review of rovers as much as I did. If you enjoyed it, give us a like. Hit the subscribe and notification buttons to be notified every time Reaching for the Moon posts a new video. Thank you for watching, and remember always, failure is not an option. Bye.